play Furman, what are we looking for? I mean, we all overwhelmed them with talent. So what we actually looking for in this next coming up game?
Efficiency.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Clemson needs to. I mean, eh, I don't know.
Making
Make
efficiency.
make the easy stuff look easy. That's going to be my motto for next week. Make the easy stuff look easy.
Okay.
David Wood, yes, we do have a new special teams coach. Well, it's not a new guy, but Mike Reed has taken over the responsibilities there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he's brought it.
So, yeah, it's no.
Yeah, one thing I want to see improvement on. I want to see these coaches let DJ get the quick game going. You know, like get these guys out there cover two and run the ball a lot better. But I want to see the quick game go. I want to see him get Antonio Williams the ball and let's see that speed that he has. We miss that. I will also stop putting those two big receivers in there at the same time. Go back to Winfro, Antonio Scott, and Mari Rogers, and have some diversity in what your receivers can do. Maybe that would loosen it up. Like let's get the ball out quick. I was glad to see us run a jet screen. What's it called? A jet sweep with I think he got a couple of yards. We haven't seen that in a while. I can't remember the last time, Amari Rogers, David Scott, or who was out of Ray McLeod.
Yeah.
And that's what Antonio Williams looked like. So put Antonio Williams, Spector, and whoever else in there at the same time, Will Taylor.
Right.
Use some of the speed instead of having these tall, lanky guys out there at the same time. So, I mean, I know it's easy to say for me because I'm not in practice, but I'm not a play caller. But I just think that we need to get back to having a veracity of receivers because it don't seem like having the guy that E.J. Williams and Bo Collins at the same time in there is working for us.
No, you gotta have you gotta have the speedy. Yeah, you gotta have a speedy guy that can move the chains and someone that the defense has to account for because it's if Georgia Tech's going to sit back and in cloud coverage the whole time. I mean, we can't just win on jump balls. They're going to have help, and so it's you got to have that guy that can find holes in the zone and get yards after catch. So
I feel like there wasn't a lot of work in the middle of the field either.
Yeah, I was disappointed in that.
I feel like Davis Allen.
Yeah. So what you just said, Smitty, it's kind of Clemson's Achilles heel, if you will, and it's kind of my pet peeve with Clemson going forward with kind of what's been happening with the offense. So you go back to the Tony Elliott era, and they did not attack the middle of the field. They did not use the tight ends, and we're kind of doing the same thing, right? So where do we go from here? Like why are we not doing that?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know because there were plays to be had tonight in the middle. Like they're talking about in the chat right now that play that DJ missed to Davis Allen. He's sitting there right there in the soft spot in the zone, right in the middle of the field. Doesn't see him, and instead takes a sack. And it's like, why? Right. It seems like there's not enough like grown up passing concepts in this offense. Sometimes it's like
it's all about getting to the outside.
Yeah, it's just screen play and stick routes and it just not a lot of there's not a lot of grown up. I didn't see a whole lot of mesh. Didn't see any stuff it's something that pretty much everybody runs nowadays, and apparently we refuse to do it. there's plays to be had in in the middle of the field, and if defenses had to respect that part of the field, we would see more success on the outside, and we would see Joe Ngata and EJ Williams and even Bo Collins, have more room, on the outside to make plays down the field in the vertical passing game, but we don't have it because they don't respect it.
Yes. Big Mike used to go in the middle from outside. Like, where's that? Like, let's run Bo across the middle. Like, he's got the hands, he's got the size. Like, something's got.
I mean, Bo Collins did great tonight, right? Like, I mean, that dude was absolutely out of his mind tonight. I mean, right?
We just need efficiency.
Yeah.
Stop getting into obvious passing down, so DJ's not having to find Will Shipley going down to the ground on a third down to keep a drive alive. Like, stay ahead of the chains, do stuff that it seems like Clemson's offense is still just kind of it's kind of just stuck in its ways, and it's like there's still not a lot of innovation there. And I was I do reserve the possibility that maybe Clemson went into this game just reserved to be ultra conservative and just maybe they didn't want to put anything on tape. I reserve the slight possibility, but but I'm not at this point. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, the playbook wasn't open. I just feel like we didn't do what we should have. So
but if you look at it though, and I'm a gambler, and I'm sure all of y'all know that. Nobody gave Georgia Tech a lot of respect coming into this game because of all the changeover. I mean, me and Craven talked about the other day. There was a lot of turnover at Georgia Tech, even a lot of guys leaving and coming. So we didn't really know what to expect from Georgia Tech. You got to look at that too. It's the first game of the year, and they had a lot of new guys. That defensive end that was lighting Miller up, I didn't even heard of. That's the 7 receiver. I'm like, where'd this dude come from? Like, wow.
There's also, the offensive coordinator's first time play calling.
Right.
But that's the thing. It's not.
It's definitely a skill he's going to have to build.
But that's the thing. But it's not. Brandon Street. I mean, even at Clemson, he's called plays. He called plays in the Sugar Bowl against Ohio State, which I hate to bring that game up, but there was a lot in that game that we didn't like. And he called plays in the Iowa State game, and so and that wasn't like we didn't like the scoreboard even in that win. So but even before that, Streeter, he was at Richmond and he was an offensive coordinator there. So I mean, it's not like I know there's a difference between coaching at the FCS level. Don't get me wrong, and becoming a big boy coordinator at a major program, but it feels like there's just not a lot of there's not a lot of innovation, and we're not even doing a lot of the the modern stuff. It's not even we're not even asking him to come up with this wild new scheme or anything like that. Just do more of the stuff that you see a lot of the modern passing offenses are doing. If you're not working the middle of the field, you are taking literally 2/3 of the pressure off of the defense because they really don't have to worry about it.
But also, I'll go back again. If you go, I watched a lot of college football this weekend. I know how much y'all watch. Go back and look how defenses are setting up. Go look at Texas and Monroe versus Texas. A lot of people are taking that stuff away, and I don't know how Alabama looked versus Utah State. I ain't really watched that game. I know they won 55, but we saw it with Ohio State, and everybody talking about how outside of Clemson's defensive line, that's probably the second best position group in all of college football right now. And look how Notre Dame took them away. It was 10-7. I know they won 21-10, but look how they took it away. So I just want to see how the next 2 or 3 games go and what adjustments these guys make. And I think the quick game is something that you're going to have to adjust to if you want to win a national championship this year. Not even a national championship. You want to win the ACC. Because there's teams out there this year, I think that's a lot better that we not giving a lot of credit to. Like Miami, I think they're a good team this year. I don't want to see them win nothing, but I still think they're a good team. And Notre Dame.
Yep.
CJ makes a good point in the chat. Yeah, the defense did get caught, looking at the sideline a couple of times tonight. That is that is something that you don't want to put on. You really want to put on tape because that's something that was a problem, and especially in the Sugar Bowl against Ohio State. They that was they did a lot of sugar huddles and caught Clemson not set at the line, and it seemed like Georgia Tech did a little bit of that, but they didn't do it enough where it really burned them. But maybe against a better offensive team, that might be something that they might try. So hopefully they took note of that and they do better at getting the calls in faster.
The first time I noticed it was when they in Carolina, when we beat Carolina with 21-19 a couple of years ago.
That
was the first time I noticed it. I was telling them we had did a show about it earlier one time before. That's the first time I noticed it, that sugar huddle or getting a quick play in or something like that and run. And they did do that to us a lot, and I couldn't understand why we couldn't stop it. I was like, Dad, who's in the game that we can't? They just run up that little crease because Fields did that to us a lot.
Yeah,
like we still can't stop it.
But all right, but I think we've harped enough on the I guess we've harped enough on the negatives.
Yep.
It's time to look forward to Furman. It's at the end of the day, Clemson won, and they won comfortably.
You are absolutely right, Jordan. It's time to look forward to next week. It's time to do that, and at the end of the day, do I think DJ is the answer? I don't know. At the end of the day, probably not. But with that said, we have to move on, right? Like we have to look into the future. We did win the game. We did win convincingly for the game, and we just have to move on, right?
Yep. And you got to remember this was a 14-8 game last year, and we needed a goal line stand.
Yep.
To survive against it, and I don't think this Georgia Tech team is that much better. I think they've improved in some areas from last year, but all in all, this isn't a significantly better Georgia Tech team we faced. But it felt like Clemson controlled the game a lot better, and at the end of the day, they moved the ball way better than they did.
Last year's game was kind of weird because you had a 54-minute rain delay. Then
yeah, that's true.
You went into halftime after a minute. That game was weird last year.
Right. So thinking about the game last year and thinking about what happened this year, what are your guys' thoughts on how Clemson performed this year and where we go from here?
It's it's week by week. That's all you can do. That's the season. It's week by week. Look at the film. Diagnose what you're doing well, what you're not doing well, and just be better. Because there's no reason why this team can't be good on offense. I mean, it's not like these guys. It's not like Clemson recruited a bunch of scrubs. There's talent on the roster. There's a reason why these guys were highly rated. I think they need to, it's got to be a cohesive effort, and they've got to work. They've got to work in lockstep, and they've got to be, on the same page. And and that's just something that's going to develop over the course of the season. We'll see how they look next week against Furman. I hope to see. I hope they make it look easy. That, like I said, make the easy stuff look easy. Make the layups, as Dabo has said in the offseason, make the layups.
Right.
And also, I mean, you should still, test the vertical passing game, because there wasn't really much of that tonight, other than outside of a few throws. So I'd like to see more big passing plays, because I mean, I think you should be able to get them. So you might as well work on them.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
Smitty, you go next, and then DeAndre, you'll go last.
I definitely want to see some work on the offensive line, and the receivers. Get those plays across the middle. Let's get some play calling in there. Let's mix it up. Defense. I mean, let's see a little bit more of what we got. Let's see Barrett Carter and Trenton Simpson going sideline to sideline.
They're amazing, man. It's so refreshing to see that kind of athleticism at linebacker for Clemson. I mean, we haven't, no shade to Skalski and Spector. Those guys were great players and stalwarts in that defense. But it's just it's really different when you have guys that can just go from one side of the field to the other and cover a screenplay. That Trenton Simpson, he was just gliding across the field on that screenplay it looked like Georgia Tech was going to get a huge gain, and it ended up being
Simpson wasn't there. Barrett Carter was right on top of him too.
Yeah, right. Like it is so it is a true luxury to have, and those are Trent, and it's amazing. We still have another year of Barrett Carter. I know obviously Trenton Simpson is going to be gone after this year, but it's going to be nice to have that in our back pocket too. So I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts.
Definitely.
Excuse me. I look at some of the people talking about we ain't going to have the advantage of 2-block punch. A couple years ago, I mean, I think it was Alabama. First time we beat Alabama, played Alabama with Deshaun Watson. Sometimes you got great defenses. They will do stuff like that for you. Look at Alabama and look at Georgia last year. I don't think Georgia offense was something as good as it looked last week. Sometimes you're going to have plays like that, and you're going to have to make plays on defense. I mean, I remember Alabama, they were like, whatever y'all do on defense, if y'all turn over the ball, don't let them score. We're just taking it. I think it was Kelly Bryant. That game that we lost to Alabama when Kelly Bryant was there, I think the defense scored 2 touchdowns for Alabama. It really wasn't the offense. So you're gonna have teams where your offense ain't gonna score, but your defense scores, and that's what we saw today. Our defense just led the way.
It's about playing complementary football. Yeah, that's basically what you're saying. Yeah, the offense. You got to. That's really what Clemson needs to get to, because I mean tonight was approached that in the second half, but they still need to you've got to rely. You got to be able to rely on the offense to move the chains consistently. I'm not asking Clemson to be 2018 the 2018 offense and putting up 40 plus points a game. I don't think Clemson needs to do that, at least in this regular season schedule. So it's about playing. Like if Clemson it was as good as you mentioned the Kelly Bryant offense. The Kelly Bryant offense didn't light the world on fire, but it did enough. In the games, it did enough in most of the games that mattered, and the defense played really well. And Clemson was a good team. That's all I'm asking for. So, and I think this team can get to that, but it's going to take more work.